What is going on, my good people? This is your main man, Ben, here. We are podcast number 8, guys, and we have to talk. It's Wednesday, folks. May 6th? It's amazing how far we've come after all this pandemic and all this craziness that's happening, but we're still here. Today, guys, is going to be craziness. We're going to talk about halfway across the world. I wouldn't really, blame you if you don't really get it here in America, but we're going to be talking about Abs-Cbn shutdown. So basically, Abs-Cbn is a network, shall we say, here in America, like CBS or Fox, something like that. So Abs-Cbn got shut down, and obviously it caused a lot of issues behind it because Abs-Cbn is the largest network in the Philippines. I grew up with it. I've been watching a lot of stuff in there as far as I can remember. But we're going to talk about this stuff. Hang tight. So we're going to state out some real facts here. We're going to go back in history a little bit so that people would probably get a little bit of, if you're not informed about the history of Abs-Cbn, then we can put out a little bit of, fact information in there. So what is Abs-Cbn? So the nucleus of Abs-Cbn was founded in 1946. So that's way back when I was born, man. Originally, it was with Bolinao Electronics Corporation, or BEC. It was established by James Lindenberg, one of the founding fathers of the Philippines television. So along with, in June 13, 1946, basically the founders of Abs-Cbn is James Lindenberg, Eugenio Lopez Sr., Fernando Lopez, and Antonio Quirino. So these are the people that, pioneered Abs-Cbn. So the franchise basically expired last, when was this? March 30th, 2020. However, it will expire on May 4th because the franchise will take effect 15 days after granting the franchise. So basically, that would be the time frame in it. But we're going to go in the root of this problem right now. If the franchise expire of the largest network in a country, but then again, there's some controversy behind, the time that the current president right now, Rodrigo Duterte, has filed some kind of complaint because Abs-Cbn was, when it was election way back in the presidency in the Philippines, there was a lot of controversies regarding the network that's being biased with the other party, meaning against Duterte, and also not airing some, campaigns. It wasn't aired, although the Duterte administration or Duterte camp already paid for, ad fees and all that stuff. But apparently, Abs-Cbn did not air those things. So it boils down to all this stuff, little things. But we're going to try to dig a little bit deeper and really what happened. Okay, without drawing any flags right now, guys, I'm a Filipino, so I know some things that's happening within the country and the things that the media broadcast here in America. And most of them are really not factual. But if you step back and let us try to resolve our stuff in the Philippines, and let me explain it to you, not in a biased way, but I will be in the middle ground, okay? Let's go through back. Why did Abs-Cbn, the network, got shut down? First, the franchise was approved March 30th, 1995. So 25 years was the franchise agreed between the government. So the government, of course, regulates the granting of broadcast frequencies. And there is this group that's called NTC, which is the National Telecommunications Commission. And they control the services in the country. Now, plainly, 25 years, March 30th, 1995, That would be this year. 25 years has expired. That's one of the reason. That's why it got shut down, because the government did not, roll again the contract. So basically they got, you know what? The government's like, we're not going to renew the franchise. Let's take this one bit at a time. So way back in the campaign, 2017, the current president right now, Rodrigo Duterte, claiming that ABS-CBN was swindling him by not airing one of his paid campaigns in the 2016 presidential elections in the Philippines. So this is just one of the things that he protested, that if we got media, and the media is the freedom of speech, the biasness of that one ad wasn't aired in the entire election campaign, although it was already paid, breaks the freedom of speech itself. So basically, ABS-CBN sided with the opposition. Let's face that. That is fact, and that is real. So let's put that in there. Now, being that the time frame, Duterte won the presidency. As a result, he denied the franchise renewal of ABS-CBN. Although they keep on appealing, they did not grant any of that renewal contract. So the NTC, or that department, ordered a cease and desist order against ABS-CBN after the franchise expired. Although that order is not limited only on, because they only the franchise expires from TV and radio stations only. Okay, so other platform like sports, ANC, Action Sports, ABS-CBN Sports in Action can still operate, but I believe you got to go through online through that platform. Now, the main problem I see in that one is that not all of Filipinos do access internet, because let's remind ourselves that this is not the first world country. This is a third world country, which a lot of people don't use cable. Or in America, Verizon, Comcast, nope. They still use radio waves and antennas to watch television for free. So a lot of people don't utilize those services online because you have to pay for subscription on that one. And that is the caveat of all this stuff, man. So once way back 1972, ABS-CBN was shut down by Ferdinand Marcos, which there was a martial law that was happening. And that was the only time it was shut down. You cannot compare that with this shutdown, though, because there's no martial law. There's pandemic, COVID-19, but this is not martial law. We looked at it as the franchise wasn't renewed. And this is not, nobody got indicted. Nobody went to the prison. Although ABS-CBN can go to the Supreme Court to, submit a ruling to reconsider it. Now, that being said, I put my 10 cents in here now. 10 days from May 5th, ABS-CBN has 10 days to respond and defend their plea on why their franchise should be renewed. And that would probably go to the Supreme Court or so. But here's how I look at this one, guys. Especially on this side of the world, in United States, or the Western Hemisphere, they portraying it as not really the fact stuff that we just talked about. They portraying it as the president's being delivering some direct attacks on the company. But that is not the case, though. We got to look at it in a legal way, in a factual way, that the franchise was already been expired. That would be the other thing, man. If I kind of not feeling it as well. I like the network. I would say it's the best in the country. But then again, this is the modern time, man. Information travels crazy fast, like, in a matter of minutes, a minute or two. Newscaster doesn't need to come over into the site. I mean, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram are there. I'm not saying you just depend on those things. I'm saying that people get their information in different way now. They don't rely on those, TV, which can be colored and will be colored, or, dabbed, or, media. We know the media gig, man. We know the media gig. That's exactly why we're doing this podcast, putting it in YouTube or Facebook, on other platforms, to express ourselves correctly and to show people that this is what's happening in a citizen's perspective, not on a company's interest or, own hidden intentions. Now, if I look at this way, Abs-Cbn should be renewed. That's what I'm looking at right now. But Duterte, I think, is setting an example right now that, hey, this is not be tolerated anymore. This can no longer go on, and I have to set an example. That's how I looked at it. If you ask me, the franchise should be renewed. That's my own opinion. It probably has some sanctions or other limitations. We'll find out in the next 10 or 9 days. We'll see from there. But I'm looking at it that this is not the end of this network. Although this is going to make a statement, not just from the people, but from the company and the opposition in the politics side, that there's nobody above the law. And this can be, set an example, or it's possible, because these companies are giant companies. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, it's like an airline company. It's like if America has one product that can be the most valuable product a country has, this is one of the product in this country, which is one of the biggest, controls TV, radio stations, and a lot more platforms. And Filipinos are fond of watching stuff, man, telenovelas and all that things. And let's face that, people in every walks of life get tired, become an artist, become member of, of the network. There is a lot of opportunities presented to, people that appreciates and look at the network the way it should, like, portray to their lives. And it's, it's a cycle. It's a series of daily, this is what we do after we eat. This is what we do after we pick up our kids and after we cook dinner. This is lifestyle. So basically, a lot of programs in Abs-Cbn, believe me or not, is part of Filipino lifestyle. Especially in a tight community, because Philippines is packed of a lot of small families, but in a dense area. But, if there's one telenovela that's very popular, everybody would be watching, man. And I tell you that telenovelas are owned by Abs-Cbn. All of them are, like, the biggest ones are under this network. And that being said, it's not going to be airing for the next, in the modern time, or modern kids like us, 25 years is a long time before the airing stops. So it's going to be a lot of changes, and it will draw a lot of attention. But like what I said, this is not a direct attack from anyone, but this is a statement. Setting an example of what happened in the past will have a repercussion in the future. You will see the result, because this is the action Abs-Cbn took in the presidential election. This is the reaction of that, cause and effect. And I think nobody's hurting right now. There are more serious things that we are facing in a pandemic. But I do understand people are complaining about not able to watch their favorite shows. It's not the end of the world, guys. There's a lot other TV networks in there. If you're really willing and watching all those favorite shows that you got, you can still subscribe in the internet and watch it from there. And let's give it a time. This is not the end of the network, I believe. And there's 10 days. Let's pay close attention. And one more thing is that the news that they're spreading here in America is really devastating. They don't like this president at all. And I don't understand why, but that's part of politics. It's a very dirty place to be. But the people knows. The people knows. But once again, guys, hang tight, man. People be more realistic of what's happening that will affect your life, which is this pandemic. The COVID-19 is far more serious than this. Stay safe, hunker down, and hold on tight. Thank you for watching, guys. This is your main boy here. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. Always remember, God is good all the time. Peace out.